They see property as an opportunity, a business that'll make the sickness sicker. If they build too many houses, it will drive down the price. It's just cold economics to them. So there's no will to address it, cause it's not in their interest. We've seen it over time and time again. Everyone should have a home. Everyone should have a home. In this world, in this life, it's a basic human right to have a dignified place you call your own.
Can you just tell me your name and what you're doing outside the Dail here?
Okay, my name is Martin Leahy. I'm a musician. I live in West Cork in Bandon, and I come up every Thursday between 1 and 2 to do a housing crisis protest outside Dail area.
And tell me a little bit about your own personal situation with renting.
Yeah, well, my own personal situation is that I've been renting for most of my life since I was 19 years old, and I have an eviction notice looming in the property I am in at the moment because the landlord is selling the property, and so I've been looking around and I feel that there's nowhere around that I can afford. It's the first time I've been out in the rental market where it's been like a non-runner for me to afford a place and even find a place. Like, it's a combination, as you know, of availability and outrageous prices.
And obviously you're up here in Dublin, and a lot of our viewers, I suppose, would be living in Dublin, but there's also people around the country, and I suppose the housing crisis has been quite severe in Dublin for some time, but now we're seeing it happening elsewhere in the country. So maybe tell me a little bit about the situation in Cork.
Yeah, well, Cork has been affected the same. It's very much like that for like the last number of years. I suppose we were hearing about Dublin, but it just seemed that we put it down to being in a busy capital city, and that's what's going to happen. But then it just started to affect, it seems, all areas now. So I live in the country, and because of me being willing to live in country or remote areas, I've always been able to afford somewhere, but it's affected those places now, and certainly availability has affected those places, and the prices are outrageous. Being a musician, I'm always kind of in a small financial world, and I'm always in the lower end of maybe places that might be a bit damp and stuff, but can't even afford those anymore.
And tell me, what would you suggest that other people do who might find themselves in the same situation as yourself?
I'd suggest that if they have an eviction notice, that they go to Threshold, because they really helped me. I have an extension on my eviction notice because of Threshold, who found that the notice was invalid. So it really, it's after kicking the can down the road a bit with the eviction notice. So I'm still in the same place for the moment. But as I said, it's looming. But that's what my advice would be to do anyway.
And what would you say to the government if the Taoiseach came out and talked to you here, which is hardly likely, but if he did, what would you say to him? I
would say the immediate thing is ban evictions straight away as an emergency measure. We saw it being done in COVID. When there's an emergency in the country, that can be done. This is being established as being this housing crisis has been established as being an emergency for a long time, and that's the immediate thing to do to stop the flow into homelessness, is to ban evictions till there's some structure or manners put on this housing.
Everyone should have a home. Everyone should have a home. In this world, in this life, it's a basic human right to have a dignified place you call your own. Everyone should have a home. Everyone should have a home, safe and warm where you belong. Everyone should have a home, safe and warm where you belong. Everyone should have a home, safe and warm where you belong. Everyone should have a home.